राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय 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 राम जय 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 राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम 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 जय राम ओम। You can just put it in the box. You can put it in the box. Because that they could not find the small
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram,
Shri Ram, Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Before I could answer, his father immediately said, "I'm so sorry, sir. Please don't feel obliged. He has been asking since if you would like to keep your seat. It is yours, champ. His face lit up instantly. He rushed to the window, pressed his little hands against the glass for a few moments, smiled, and then, just a few minutes after takeoff, rested his head on the father's shoulder and quietly fell asleep. He slept. He slept through almost the entire flight. About 20 minutes before landing, his father looked at me and smiled. I guess he did not make much use of your window seat. That's all right, I replied. He must have been exhausted. There was a brief silence. His father said softly, he is. We have spent the last 8 months in Delhi. He has been undergoing treatment for severe aplastic anemia at Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute and Research Center. There were days we did not know if we would ever make this journey home. Today is the first day the doctors felt he was well enough to travel. I looked at the little boy again. Only a few minutes earlier, I had seen a child asking for a window seat. Now I saw a little warrior who had spent months fighting for something infinitely more precious than a view above the clouds. His father then asked me, do you know why he wanted the window seat so badly? I shook my head. He told me, Papa, when we are above the clouds, I'll be a little closer to God. And I can say, thank you for making me better. I don't know what to say. I simply looked away, quietly wiped a tear from my eyes. As we walked toward the terminal, his father turned around and smiled and said, thank you, you made his day. The truth is, he had made mine. That flight reminded me that we meet people for only a few moments, while they may have been carrying burdens for months or even years. The impatient customer, the distracted colleague, the exhausted parent, the quiet child asking for a window seat. We see behavior. We rarely see the battle behind it. Perhaps empathy does not bring with grand gestures. Perhaps it begins with choosing compassion before judgment. Everyone you meet is carrying a story you cannot see. A small act of kindness can become someone's lifelong memory. Sometimes the most beautiful view is not from the window seat, it is the perspective that changes your heart. Last week, I gave away my window seat. Anup Kumar Bedi. A very important message for us on the Guru Purnima day from Papa. Many of us have gone through that. But still, how God came into my life. I think that's a poem, no? Oh, no, you
It's
don't.
in divine life.
No, don't worry.
It's in divine life. was my life.
Reason, which can be best utilized by him to develop a keen aspiration for God, backed up with intense dispassion for sense enjoyments. Now, what is the aim of life? It is happiness. This cherished aim is fulfilled by realizing God, who is eternal happiness. The pleasures I derived from the objects of the senses were not only transitory, but were also accompanied by pain and grief, a phase I came to know too well. So I engaged myself in an all-round effort to divert the mind from the ephemeral objects to the eternal source of life, God. God, who is absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss, is within me. Withdrawing the mind from unreal, I let it flow continuously towards Him through a steady remembrance brought about by a ceaseless chanting of His holy name. Constant remembrance purified and controlled my mind. Now, the mysterious grace of Guru, which awakened me in the first instance to see God, completed its task by removing the mask of ignorance which enveloped my soul for ages, with the result that a flood of illumination poured out, permeating my body, senses, and all the worlds. In this splendor, my soul was lost, followed by the dawn of a cosmic consciousness and the knowledge of my still or another vision, more exalted itself, and this is the fusion of the Atman with the universal manifestation. In other words, I realize that the Atman and the universe are one. This magnificent vision and experience, based on the realization of the Absolute Self, transformed me, the human being, into a veritable embodiment of God in all its aspects. As my soul stepped from the animal to the human, it now stepped from the human into the divine, the Purushottama, a spiritual come physical evolution, the grandest finale, the supreme fulfillment of God's will to reveal Himself in all His sublimity in this human being. Verily, God is the seeker and God is the sought. This is His inscrutable Leela. Truly, my soul and God, Jiva and Brahman are one. Yet, the highest spiritual possibilities are not exhausted. The sweetest and dearest relationship with Him, near and personal, which I maintained all along the initial struggle and aspiration, has at present become real, intimate, permanent. He is now my constant companion as a careful mother and beneficent master in the face of man, beast, and bird, nay, of all creatures and things, I behold him, my beloved, again all victory to him. Only we can read. So, having listened to these, you can form an idea of the severe struggles Ramdas had to pass through before attaining God. We should not make the mistake of thinking that by our efforts we can get him. Really, by his will, grace, and power alone, we can have him. Does anything strike to anybody when we hear these words? We should not make the mistake of thinking that by our efforts we can get him. Really, by his will, grace, and power alone, we can have him.
Swamiji, I think about it sometimes that way, and I feel that eating, drinking, sitting, standing, thinking, talking, everything is a karma. So as long as we are alive, we can never exhaust the karma. So if we have to realize him while we are alive, then automatically his grace only can pull us out. Otherwise, how can the karma ever get exhausted?
Master and master plan. Master and master plan.
You may be right, but what comes to our mind is he is the very subject.
Oh, that way.
So efforts are needed to gain a knowledge, an object. Okay? Here, it is not an object. If this becomes clear at the very start, then we will not get frustrated. Because he is the very subject. Whatever efforts we are doing, it is because of his presence. So with his presence, how can it come? No. When you say our efforts, even when the efforts are graced by him, then how can we say by effort? So we feel by what he meant was, we should not make the mistake of thinking that by our efforts we can get him. Really, by his will, grace, and power alone, we can have him. Because he is the very subject. That we come to know only when at the last he says, just now we read, the salt and the seeker and the salt become one. Kindly ponder over, especially when we are trying to move toward the awareness of his presence within. This is very, 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 very important. When we hear the word grace, we think it has to come from somebody, Yeah, so many things we have read. So all those things may come and try to interpret. But we feel the simple thing is, by effort we can only get whatever that is not within us, in the form of an object or a knowledge. But here, the subject is the one to be sought, not an object to be sought, not a knowledge to be sought, acquired. We'll again read. We should not make the mistake of thinking. So now, that is why he said the thoughts cannot go there. Because thoughts start from, because of his presence only thoughts are. So they have no entry. We should not make the mistake of thinking that by our effort we can get him. Really, by his will, grace, and power alone, we can have him. Even before Ramdas left Mangalore in 1922, it had become increasingly clear to him that God had taken him up for granting him the vision and experience of his light, power, and joy. In the book In Quest of God, you will find he left Mangalore not of his own accord. God wanted him to go out of Mangalore and wander about. Everything Ramdas did was at the prompting or inspiration of God. When we are on the path, the best way is to struggle with the knowledge that He is making us struggle. The best way to struggle, the best way is to struggle with the knowledge that He is making us struggle. He is giving us the incentive to do sadhana. The teacher gives a lesson to his pupil and watches. So also he is watching and guiding us in every action. When led into solitude, Ramdas went there like an automaton. God willed, you must go there. He obeyed. In the midst of wild beasts, he had absolutely no fear because he was obeying the master's command. Nothing untoward happened. And the next para is very, very important for sadhakas like us. After Ramdas had got the initiation from his guru, guidance always came to him from within. That's why Bhujan's case, after initiation, what did he say? As he recognized this, he did not wait for the advice of anybody. Many told him he was going on the wrong path. But the fact was, he did not know whether what he was doing was right or wrong. God had set him on the path, and he had no fear of fall or frustration. We must always feel he is guiding us. God must inspire us in all things. We should feel God leads us on. There is no reasoning or planning. The urge comes from within. Many people struggle egoistically for years without any spiritual attainment. So for this, what is necessary? ಎವಿಡಿಂದ ಚೆರುವತ್ತೂರು. അവിടെ ഗാലറി ഉണ്ട്, അത് നോക്കിയോ വരൂ. ശരി. After Ramdas had got the initiation from his guru, guidance always came to him from within. Now, what does our life tell us?
We seek guidance always from outside.
Simple answer. What is the simple answer for this? After Ramdas had got the initiation from his guru, guidance always came to him from within.
ಮೊದಲು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, God
He is making us to do. But what happened to us? What happened to us all these years? We were also initiated, no? In fact, there was no initiation for us. But anyhow, at the time of sannyas, some ritual. So then what happened? After the so-called initiation, what happened? It's a very important point for all of us.
We started hanging on to the external prop.
For anything and everything, even to remove this, we will ask something. That means we are not going inward. We have not trained our mind to go inward. Naturally, struggle will be there. Why am I chanting the name? Whose name I am chanting? What did I get all these days? Struggle will be there. But we will again go to somebody, either a co-sadhaka or a guru or a person who is well advanced. We have heard this, many people. I've been chanting, I don't get the anything that is promised by Papa. I'm chanting not only, even now I'm chanting, I'm not getting anything. And Puja Swamiji said, stop chanting. Because not that he wanted him to stop. He will find out, what is happening. But if he stops, again he is the loser. He is depending upon somebody's. So we take it that by this word, Papa is revealing what he did and asking us to rely on the Guru within. We must always feel he is guiding us. God must inspire us in all things. We should feel God leads us on. There is no reasoning or planning here. Earth comes from within to react. So the best way is to struggle with the knowledge that he is making us struggle. We all read Mataji's, many times. If we ask something, immediately he will bring the book also and show. But the cardinal principle is, when initiation was given to Mataji was struggling to get into, and then it was purely, if you go through Krishna Bhai book, you will find the initial stages. The only thing, everything was okay. The only thing is she was attached to the frog papa. So when he cut that off, sealed her. You will not see Ramdas, you will not talk to Ramdas, you will not. By that, it was cut. Immediately you go and take it. Not necessary. What is the use? Again, it will be in the same book. So now we are trying to understand the implied meaning is that she was made to rely on the inner Guru. At least from today onwards, we will try. Why my Ramnam chanting is not making me closer to him, or I am not having a glimpse of his presence? We are all privileged people to get involved in so many such activities, not merely administration or seva. Something directly connected with the works of Papa and Mataji. So the real purpose of this is that we are picking these selected ones that will help us in our sadhana. So here is this is from God Experience. When he says, God has sent him on the path, and he had no fear or fall of frustration. You must always feel he is guiding us. We did not open the laptop with the idea of going to this particular quotation. But he led us to this particular para. After Ramdas got the initiation from his guru, guidance always came to him from within. As he recognized this, he would not care for the advice of anybody. Many told him he was going on the wrong path. But the fact was, he did not know what he was doing was right or wrong. God set him on the path. And he had no fear of fall or frustration, not of arrogance. The conviction that he is guiding, that's all. And he is testing through somebody pointing out something. God had set him on the path. And he had no fear of fall or frustration. We must always feel he is guiding us. God must inspire us in all things. We should feel God leads us on. There is no reasoning or planning here. The urge comes from within and we act. Many people struggle egoistically for years, including us, without any spiritual attainment. So today it is made very, very clear that anything, when we try to go within and find out the answer, the reason for the mental struggle that he is giving us, suddenly it opens up. Mysteriously it opens up. It is not a simple promise by Papa, it is by his own life. How he could reach that stage? In our language, we can say the awareness of the ephemeral and the eternal, the detachment or withdrawal from the ephemeral to the something else. We can call it as vairagya or something. And this unshakable faith in him. I think that is the one which provides the needed ambience for prompting him to rely on him. So he did not seek any outlet. We suppose after reading this, suppose we stop taking outside this thing. Before we have not done all this preparation, we will be in utter chaos. That also we should understand. One thing is clear, according to Papa's philosophy or approach, school of philosophy, reliance on the Guru within is the Guru Purnima Day, that is why I opened. Guru Purnima Day, we are approaching on 29th. So the other day we read something. So what Papa says about Guru? So we started searching. There, when we came here, he made it stop. Share this with everybody. Correct. That is how we landed here. The best way is to struggle with the knowledge that he is making us struggle. Second is guidance always came to him from within after the initiation. As he recognized this, he would not care for the advice of anybody because he has to be firm. Hearing something today, tomorrow another interpretation. No. We should be very clear what we are pursuing. Focused, one-pointed. The Papa's approach, a comprehensive approach, I would say. And that comprehensive approach will definitely give us some direction from within. Please think over this. Very important. We must feel that He is guiding us. God must inspire us in all things. We should feel God leads us on. There is no reasoning or planning here. The earth comes from within, we act. Question, grace comes first. You ought to know that God is directing you. You must be conscious of it. For instance, at the age of 38, suddenly the change came over Ramdas. He was leading an ordinary life. Hunger for God came to him because God gave it to him. Why did he not have it earlier? God did not will it. He felt that it was He who called him away. In his book, he has stated that God drove him away from Mangalore. In fact, God led him away just as mother leads the child by the hand to any place she likes. In the book World is God, the first chapter is entitled God Leads. What made you to give up everything and go away? They ask. God made him do so. His renunciation was not reasoned out or planned out. The earth was so strong that he could not resist it. It was all in his hands. God did whatever he liked with him. There is no question of why and wherefore. Papa. The man who has realized Brahman cannot express what it is. All we have to do is to follow a course of discipline to still the mind. Then we will know the truth. One cannot express what it is, but one can experience it. How many times you have all read this? No? Because we say, Malayali Nambudiri sent two children. Papa has also mentioned that. It appears two boys were sent to Kashi for studying Shastras under a famous Pandit. They came back on the completion of their studies. The father asked one of the boys, "Have you understood what Brahman is?" "Yes," he said. "What is it?" The boy started profusely quoting from Upanishads, like us. All, whatever there in the text, we know that. And the other son, he called the other son. The boy quoted profusely from Upanishads and other texts on, "Son, you have not understood Brahman," said the father. He called the other son and asked him, "You have studied everything. Do you know what Brahman is?" He remained silent. Thrice he was put the question, still no answer. The father said, "You have understood what is Brahman." The man who has realized Brahman cannot express what it is. All we have to do is to follow a course of discipline to still the mind. Then we will know the truth. One cannot express what it is, but one can experience. Therefore, Buddha never attempted to define the ultimate reality. Ramdas came across a pregnant sentence in his teachings, The Light of Asia by Edwin Arnold. Do not dip the string of thought into the unfathomable. He who questions errs, he who angers errs. He does not define the state. He calls the state as nirvana, which is the same as moksha. Negatively, you can say, it is not this, it is not this. You cannot say what it is. So we have only to follow the path chalked out for us by the sages and saints. They ask us to go along the path trodden by them. We ourselves must walk the path, reach the goal. There is no use of speculating about it. You must go beyond all thoughts if you want to enter the realm of immortality. Your intellect cannot follow you there. Forget everything and still the mind. You will realize that you are eternal truth, the silence. The world is non-existent for you for the time being. Then you know who you are, what the world is. You are Brahman and the world is Brahman. Stilling the mind is very difficult. When you become a perfect witness of the mind ceases to be. You will experience an ecstasy born of the consciousness of the truth that you are. Since the mind disappears and you are established in that consciousness, you are always happy, calm, serene. Sages point out various ways of approach suited to the different temperaments.
Swamiji, there is a conversation there. Ambi Mama is asking, how did Papa know that God sent him? It can be his own presumption. So Sridhar uncle is saying Papa did not have something called his own. Papa had only his guidance.
Our intellect will not keep quiet, no. Now, just now he said, nothing else is needed. What is needed? Nothing else is needed. What is needed? Huh?
Stillness of mind, she said.
Stillness. Why do we get stuck with this or that? He's straight away pointing out that. Witnessing still. All that we have to do is to follow a course of discipline to still the mind. See the way in she is holding our hands and leading. Mauna session started in 2 years back on the Guru Purnima day. He made us to do that for nearly 2 years. Suddenly he brought this Namosava concept to make the chanting more and more effective. And surprisingly, this time, not this time, in the May Namosava, surprisingly, he made the Mauna session to follow it. And day first also the same thing. Yesterday, yesterday, same thing. And now we keep telling everybody every month, second Sunday, second Saturday, second Sunday, as if we have decided. It realized by itself, So that means Nama chanting is necessary with the proper perspective. Don't stop. Ultimately, it should end in stillness. Beautiful. He is telling us how the guidance will come. A few of us who are directly handling this program will be preoccupied with the program arrangement. We miss the paper distribution, pen distribution, this distribution, that distribution. Actually, now we seek Papa's blessings. The moment the 9 o'clock starts till 12 o'clock, there is no organizer. Everybody is a participant. How to do that? He will guide us.
We keep everything on the table. Whoever wants to go quietly take it
Something
and
like
come back.
something like that. That means before start we have to inform, that's all. Nobody will do anything else. Everybody sits with this. Now we are very clear.
No, Swamiji, we can keep it on the chair only.
That
On
is
the
also
chair,
good
we
idea.
can keep paper,
Without a
cup, that pad, paper pen.
Whatever it may be. Administrative reforms can be done. What I'm telling is, we should ensure that 9 to 12, there is no getting up, no this thing. Getting up only for that walking, just to stretch ourselves, for that, of course, we have to get up, no doubt. We open our eyes for some time. Doesn't matter. But stillness is the aim. Stillness is the aim. And luckily, you see, of all the places, how he has made that hall. Yesterday, when we were sitting in the midst of the trees, it is not a complete jungle. Air is, breeze was there. So many trees were there.
We can hear Ramnam also.
Ramnam also. So many things. What a beautiful, pleasant ambience. And then nobody talks. Everybody meticulously followed on the May as well as this one. Only we people created some sound. Participants were absolutely absorbed in. Anyway, it's all well. It's all for our own learning. So we now find 2, 3 answers now that ultimately all our things should settle in stilling the mind. So all the preparation so far he has made us to do is only to move towards this end. All we have to do is to follow a course of discipline to still the mind. Then we will know the truth. One cannot express what it is, but one can experience it. You cannot say what it is. So we have only to follow the path chalked out for us by the sages and saints. They ask us to follow the path trodden by them. We ourselves must walk the path. We ourselves must walk the path and reach the goal. There is no use of speculating about it. You must go beyond all thought if you want to enter the realm of immortality. You must go beyond all thoughts. That is called stillness now. Your intellect cannot follow you there. Forget everything, still the mind. Forget everything and still the mind. Then you will realize that you are the eternal truth, silence. Stilling the mind is very difficult. When you become a perfect witness of the mind ceases to be. Actually, there is nothing called the mind. Mind is thought flow, So when we become conscious, when we witness our own thoughts, that is one clue he is giving. When you become stilling is difficult. When you become a perfect witness of the mind ceases to be. You will experience an ecstasy born of the consciousness of the truth that you are. Since the mind disappears and you are established in that consciousness, you are always happy. Sorry. So the Nama chanting in a melodious tune, we are now enjoying it because it slowly releases from all other thoughts, silently getting focused on one thought, the sound and the raga. And finally, when we stop, we get a glimpse. Yesterday, after the Mona session, when slow chanting was undertaken, the vibration that created, a harmonious blend of silence and the sound. It arrested all other thoughts and sound, focused on one sound. And because there were gaps within the gaps that became conspicuous. And that 5 times, it doesn't go anywhere. And when it stopped, even the breathing got stopped. So everything came to a standstill for a time, small. We were led. So Namotsava prepared the ground to chant with the right perspective that we are chanting the Nami. We are chanting to remember the Nami. And Nami is the silence, the stillness. So forget everything, still the mind. Stilling the mind is difficult. When you become a perfect witness of the mind ceases to be. You will experience an ecstasy born of consciousness of the truth that you are. That you are the beingness, consciousness. Since the mind disappears and you are established in that consciousness, you are always happy, calm, serene. Sages point out various ways of approach suited to the different temperaments. Very good, very good. So, what is the take home message today?
Still the mind.
Still the mind. One, before that?
Guru, inner Guru.
Inner. Inner Guru.
Reliance on inner Guru.
Huh?
Reliance on inner Guru.
Guidance came from within.
Guidance came from?
Inside.
Those are the 2 points.
And that story, that starting that story.
You also mentioned about the mind should be prepared, the groundwork should be done for depending on the inner Guru. If that's not done, then it will be chaos.
groundwork. But I think we can interpret that the success within such a short time, 2 years, was purely because his unshakable faith and the conviction that he is being led by God.
It's the will, power, and grace of God.
Right from his beginning. And he felt he is being led. Even when, now we remember, when we read that when he said the first touch was from Gandhiji, there's a one word very important. In the course of Ramdas's life, prior to his meeting the Guru, he had been awakened off and on by contacts with some dynamic persons. Okay? But he puts a comma, though he had not felt that any power from outside had done it. The awakening had taken place within him, even before he met Gandhiji. The awakening had taken place within him. Ramdas once saw Gandhiji in Bangalore from a distance. A strange influence from him changed Ramdas's outlook, and his mind started going toward God. The first touch was from Gandhiji. Even that he says, dynamic personality, though he had not felt that any power from outside had done it. Because Gandhiji had surrendered everything to him, God. So every word that is uttered by him carries this impact to such a receptive mind. Not everybody would not have understood. When the mind becomes receptive, then only that can be understood. And because he knows God through that form came, that is why he did not make mention about this later. Because he was only seeing, that is the difference between us and him. We always get stuck with that individual, no? Papa, Mataji, we get stuck with that individual. God made us to get in touch with Papa, that we never see. By Papa's grace, I got it, no? God made us to get in touch with. We have to rephrase the whole thing, which is the truth.
Or we have to remember what Papa really is.
Eh?
Or we have to remember what Papa really is.
In that question drafted, remember a few days back, everybody would have forgotten. Everybody, enthusiasm will be there only for a few hours. Then everything gets evaporated. Anyway, I will read this for our sadhana at least. One question. Who was Papa in Papa's own understanding? Who was Papa in Papa's own understanding? Suppose we ask this question, we stop with our individuality, body, mind, intellect complex. But to him it was very clear. Who was Papa in Papa's own understanding? Was Papa merely a saint, a guru, or a devotee, or the all-pervading divine reality? What was Papa's greatest gift to humanity? Was it Ramnam, universal love, fearless surrender, or a new way of seeing?
All of them.
Huh?
All of them.
15th question. How can Papa continue to guide us today? Clue. What does it mean to experience Papa not merely as a historical personality, but as the indwelling, all-pervading presence? How can Papa continue to guide us today? Ah, indwelling, all-pervading presence. Papa came to awaken God remembrance. Papa came to awaken fearlessness. Papa came to awaken universal love. Papa came to awaken the Guru vision, real vision, no, not Guru. Papa came to awaken awareness of the great void. Papa came to awaken the presence within. Papa came to awaken the vision of God in all. Audience would not merely learn about Papa, they would begin to discover what Papa is trying to awaken within them. So it should not simply preserve Papa's life. It would preserve the living movement of his teaching from the heart of the master to the heart of the seeker. Think. Where is relief? Where is rest? This was the heart's cry of Ramdas. The cry was heard. From the great void came the voice. Despair not, trust me, thou shalt be free. And this was the voice of Ram. Ram is a subtle and mysterious power that pervades and sustains the whole universe. Birthless and deathless is he is present in all things and in all creatures who only appear as separate entities due to their ever-changing forms. Once the mind ceases to be restless, being from thoughts and desires, that moment we are not individual but pure consciousness, which is at once cosmic and supercosmic. Stillness of the mind awakens in us a consciousness which is full of radiance and ecstasy. Now we know that we are the truth, the eternal. Papa Mataji are everywhere, God is everywhere, you are everywhere. Make your heart a temple, God is within you, He is always there. In this world play, there is one power at work, one consciousness that witnesses all its movement, one intelligence that guides and controls all affairs. In fact, one spiritual radiance which is flooding the entire earth. This power and radiance is God, and His will ever triumphs. You are beyond Sat and Asat. You are the doer and the non-doer at once. You are the incomprehensible, inexpressible first cause. Some gleanings, whenever time permits, we get from his different books. Anyhow, so many things we share. Okay. So ultimately, let us be very clear. That elsewhere also he says, after chanting, observe Mavan for 10 or 15 minutes. Initially, 10 or 15 minutes will not help. So at least 2 minutes or 5 minutes. So morning it helps us. Mind is fresh. Everybody is attentive. No other disturbance. So when Papa's words are read out, it sinks. At least for that time it sinks. Because we are not following it up, we are leaving it, that's all. Suppose we are following it up, it will again sink further. At that moment it sinks, no doubt. Some impact will be there. Some guideline is emerging out of these morning sessions. Hari Om. Om Sri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.